All right, all right, all right. Welcome to some Dapper Cat Gaming here. And as you can tell by the image on the screen right now, we are playing some Last Caretaker. I wanted to do a different video today. This video is actually going to be on my build that I currently have at the Lazarus station, Lazarus complex, whatever you want to call it, platform, whatever. So as we start, first and foremost, thank you to everyone who's been making comments on my videos. I am trying to get better about the head bobble, the back and forth swaying. I will try to take that to heart and be better about it. So thank you for your comments. I do read them. I try to reply. I can't always reply to everything, but I try to. And so thank you. All right, so before we start, this is the room when you first get to Lazarus that you got to make your way up to on the roof, right? And so this is how you actually turn the lights on and get power going. So my typical build for one of these is I'll place a battery somewhere, and then I also... Hey there, buddy. I will also place a solar panel because solar panels, very, very rarely do they need to be repaired, fixed. If an animal hits it, one of the enemy types, if they hit it, weather doesn't seem to do much, but I think on my boat I've had it happen a couple of times. But anyways, this is my typical setup when I go to a location. I'll put up a solar panel. It doesn't even have to be the top tier one. I'll put up a battery, and then that does it. It provides power, okay? I have been toying with the idea of getting rid of, up here on the roof, my fabricator and my recycler. We'll see. It's still there as of right now. You can tell I'm on the roof. We do have daylight. So let's continue with what I have going on. Now, I put up 12 solar panels. This is the top tier of the solar panels. It is the Lumimax, right? And again, you can see they don't really need to be repaired. No, I did not preemptively go in here and check them and fix them ahead of time. I did not do that. So I have 6 on this side. They feed across. I have 6 on this side. These 12 go back inside and they travel down the wall. I'll show you in just a second what that looks like. Now, you're like, wait a second, Tim. What is that I see over there far across? That is more solar panels. I have 5 solar panels over there. Those 5, let me show you what they do. All right, here we are. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They come over. I am going to have to turn my light back on because these little dudes are hiding in the shadows. So I come over. I come down right there, go down to this platform, and then I eventually run down the side of the building. When I get down on the ground, I will show you what that looks like from down low. So again, this is my layout. I have 5. Again, I will show you what they feed. And then I have the 12. All right, so let's get over to the elevator and let's ride it down. All right, we're riding the elevator down. As you can see, my line goes down this wall all the way down to the ground floor here, the base floor. And this is my setup inside the Lazarus complex. Now, if you've been watching any of my videos, you will notice something. These are in a different location now, and I got rid of, I'll show you in a second, I got rid of where my solar panels were previously. So I have 15 batteries set up, and they're just set up to equalize, and I'm using power right now because I'm creating some ingredients to make humans. I'm more than likely going to do 5 more batteries. I don't have to. I just think it would look cool to be uniform. And right now I have 15 batteries. They come down, they hit that, and then across the floor we have the breakout. So I have a food processor here. I'm not going to get too close because it gets loud. I have a food processor over here on the left-hand side, which also has the purified water, filtered water going into it. And over here, I have my fabricator and my recycler. I did put up some big boxes They're just kind of randomly filled. There's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason to them. You can kind of see. But I started to do this because my boat was getting overrun with materials, right? And at the time, I was still building here, so I needed this inside here. Now, I know a lot of people are going to give comments, you know, use the boat more for certain applications or make the boat, you know, your workplace. This is the way I want to play the game. So I have it where I work here. I also have similar setups in other locations across the map. And I will show you my boat here in just a second. But we come around, we come down. This is all my food ingredients. It's going to be, I kind of broke them apart. Some of them you get a lot more than others. Just the way the game works. This is carbohydrates. You can see I got a lot of carbohydrates. The proteins, and then the calciums. I have a lot of calciums as well. It needed a bigger box. These are my special ingredients that you get from when you kill sharks or angels. The animal fat or the animal whatever it's called that they give you. This is where that goes. And then this last box is where I keep my containers. Oop, it just finished. Yeah, it just finished. All right. Over here, this box, I keep my memories. I put all my memories in this box right here, mainly because, again, I'm not using these on the boat. I'm using them here. And currently in the game, this is the only place to build humans. It's right here at the Lazarus complex. So, continuing on, we got our power. Our power hits. It starts being distributed. My water comes in. My power goes in. I've got it going to all 4 machines. Okay. Used to, I had my power come down this stairwell because outside that door up there was a turbines and solar, and that's what I was using. But one thing that I noticed in the game was the sun does move, not east to west. I know, haha. The sun does move, though, like a winter, summer, spring, and fall. It moves in the location across the sky of where you're getting your shadows. And for me in this game right now, this side of the building doesn't see the sunlight. So I was not getting enough power. If you remember in a couple videos of mine previously, that's the problem I was having, was I didn't have enough power, and I was like trying to figure it out. Well, I started paying attention. The same thing happened to me over at the Exodus platform where the rocket is. I set up some solar, and then all of a sudden the sun was in a different location and it was getting a lot of shadows. So I have since fixed that as well, but let's continue on here. So if you are struggling with your solar, you do need to move it and place it in a place where it can get just like full sunlight. No matter about a building, a shadow. That's why I moved them up to the roof. All right. These are my water tanks. I have 7 of them over here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 2,000, 14,000 liters. I do have one more I will show you in just a second on the outside. When we go down, I'll just do it from up here. You can see I have 2 filtrations running and I have 2 pumps. So, little bit of backstory here. You can't feed 2 pumps into one filtration, but you can feed 2 filtered pumps into one filtered line. So my 2 pumps feed the one box. The box comes up the wall into here. And if you want to see that in action, I can just turn it on and you see the water coming up. You see the water going out the 2 pumps on the right-hand side, and then they go to the filtrations, and then those go to the box, and it does its thing. And then it comes up, and it fills the containers. All right, we're going to turn that back off. All right, now moving on, you'll follow this water line. The water line comes out this way. I like these prefixed modules. That way you can still use the doors. Can't use it all the time, but I do like it. Right, we'll go downstairs right now. Come on. We still daylight? Yes, we are. All right, now this is my setup outside downstairs. I have this one water tank, and by the way, I don't need it. It rains so much in the game, you don't need to have it hooked up. I mean, initially, probably yes, to get it up to 100 liters. You can see it's down to 98. It'll rain again, trust me. I have 6 plants or 6 coffee seeds. And if you don't know the grow cycle of these coffee seeds, you place it in. It says decaying, requires soil. They just keep recycling, by the way. It keeps going back to a seed, and then it'll grow, decaying, requires soil. I don't do anything with them, and they just keep regenerating. It's quite comical. I don't know if it's designed to be that way. So it'll decay, it'll go back to a seed, and then here in the day or two, it'll be growing again. It is so wild. Not exactly sure why. And if you try to dismantle this, by the way, you get one bio waste. I don't know, again, if that's the intent in the game or not, but yeah. Anyway, I have 6 trees just to kind of add some greenery to my game. I did put up the lights, by the way. Right there, I have a light shining over on it to keep the little vampiric leeches off of it. All right, now let's talk about over here. I have 3 tanks of diesel, 1 petrol. I did move my diesel generator off the ship over here, and if you look, I've got a lot of organics in there that I can quickly turn into diesel if need be. I have 4 oil tanks. The first 2 feed into each other, which feeds into the third one, and then these 2 equalize, and then it feeds into my distillation. My distillation feeds out to diesel. The diesel is also fed, diesel generation comes off of the generator itself, feeds into the tanks, and then I have my petrol. See, it's raining. Yeah. Over here, I have these tanks. Now, I had a problem. I didn't catch it. I don't know if one of the angels, I killed all the angels. I don't know if y'all caught that up on the roof, but I killed them all because they kept separating my line and I wouldn't catch it, and then these batteries would get drained. So I have 6 batteries. I'll probably put 2 more up just to make it an even 8. And again, it does its job. It keeps the lights running. I have this light over here, that the other light that I showed you, and I can control those by this switch right here. I can activate that switch, turn them on and off at one location. I kind of dig that. All right, now that ends my tour of the Lazarus complex. Now we're going to jump over into the boat. All right, all right. All right, we're on the boat now, and again, this is what works for me. I know there are lots of different builds out there, and currently in the game, this is how my gameplay, my style works. I have the 1 petrol. I do not use the flamethrower. I probably should experiment with it, but I just use the sniper rifle and then the regular gun and the little shock one, this one right here. So I use that one. I use this one and just change the bullets around, and then I use the sniper. I keep the sniper in a chest. I will show you in just a second. So I have 6 oil tanks in the front of the boat. I have the 1 petrol in the middle. Again, I don't use this for the gun. I use this at the Exodus station to create the carbon monoxide, methane, to feed the reactor that makes the oxygen and the methane. So I need the petrol for that. I have 4 solar panels. These 4 solar panels work perfectly for me because I generally, I do not use a lot of my electric on the boat. I travel with diesel if I'm, especially because of the weather system in the game. A lot of times you're in rough seas, and I just use the diesel. And now I do have it set up along the side of the boat to where I can onload, offload my oil, both sides of the boat. You can see, you come into this room right here, and I've seen some people do some really cool stuff with this room, by the way. I just currently have the 2 diesel tanks. I know I could put a 3rd tank in there by just squeezing them together. I didn't need it at the time. I probably will do it, just right now not needed in my gameplay. So I had the 2 tanks. These 2 equalize. It equalizes with the boat, so all the boat 2,000. So I have 6,000 liters. Over here, this box right here is where I keep my sniper rifle with my ammo. I use that to kill the sharks. If you're not familiar, the little shark dudes out there, if you hit them with the sniper, it's 5 sniper bullets to kill them. All right, just in case you did not know. I do not have anything on top. I do not have anything in the command deck up there. All right. When we come around to the back side of the boat, I have a container right here. This is for excess bio stuff that comes up out of my net. I pull up my net. I'll put my bio stuff in there. I have 2 batteries. I will probably add more. We'll see, just for the fun of it at this point, because I've already completed the storyline of the game. Now it's just grindy material, so we'll see. I may add more. I don't know. I'll figure it out. All right, we come downstairs. I have my diesel maxed out with the super boosters. And again, I just don't utilize this space very often. I know I could put stuff in here, batteries or something. On this side, I have my super boosters for the electric. So I'm fully maxed out on the upgrades for that. Now, in my previous videos, you saw that I had 2 rows of boxes going down the middle. I liked everyone's ideas in my previous tips and tricks video. Lots of people were like, you know, hey, you can move this up, right? Get them up off the wall, on the walls, and I did. And then you can color coordinate them as well. So, unfortunately, there's no black. You can't make black, or at least I haven't figured out how to make black. If someone knows, please leave a comment down below for the rubber and the what's the other one? Carbon fiber. So, sorry, the boat is rocking. Don't come a knocking. All right. Little dad joke there. All right, so this is my copper. Copper, I have more than anything else in the game. It's insane how much copper you get. I do have all of these little robots that I'm going to be dismantling, getting rid of. I just haven't done it yet. Over here on this side, I have my plastic. I tried to go with a color that represents the item in it, but then you get into something like this. Again, I can't create black. I can't even really get a dark gray going for like the iron. This is my 2 boxes for iron right here. Yes, one of them's empty right now, but that's just because I was just building a lot of stuff. So this is glass. Again, I tried to pick a color that's close to it. This is white. This is silicone. This is my fabric. This is the polyurethane. Again, something that I have a lot of, but I don't have a lot of need for. Up here, this is aluminum. Again, just a hard color to try and match, especially with the glass looking similar. This right here, this box, I'm using to hold all of my entanglement lenses and quantum duplicators, right? Because they pop in right there. You get these, by the way, if you don't know. These are the rewards. Every time you send someone up into space, you will get rewards. You send 1, you get 1 set of rewards. Send 2, 2 sets, 3 sets. The most you can send is 3. So you get 3 sets of rewards if you send 3 humans into space. All right, now coming into this back room over here, I have this one. This is gold. Yes, I have a lot of gold. Again, something that's not used a lot. This box right here is a box that is extra parts and pieces from when I go to other platforms, I tear down anything that's damaged. I don't even repair it. I just go and just tear it down. I know there's rewards, there's savings, you get more out of a fully repaired piece of equipment, but I don't know. I just run in for time's sake. I just run in and do it, and then you end up with extra parts. I put them over here. You can see, by the way, I have been dismantling a lot of my turbines. I have 13 blades. All right. Over here, this is where I'm keeping my high-end carbon fiber, neutronium, plasma gel, and titaniums. Over here, this is going to be stuff that I'm still sorting out, but this is mostly grenades and then some rifle trace rounds. This is more rounds of ammunition. And this box right here has the coffee seeds that, again, reward for when you send people up into space. So I have lots of them. I could make all of them planter boxes, but I just haven't seen a need for it. And then this is just spare stuff over here. I have been keeping these. I was dismantling them at first, and I thought, man, these look pretty cool. I'd like to display these somehow. I'm not sure how, so if anybody has an idea, let me know. Let me know what you're doing. Maybe post a picture or make a comment, something. Let me know what you're doing with these unique parts and pieces that you're finding. I just don't want to dismantle it, I get that ultra tech scrap, but if I'm being honest, I'm getting just as much when I kill shark. So, yeah, I'm not exactly sure. And if I'm not mistaken, all right, so this robot gives you tech scraps. This robot that looks more clean gives you high tech scraps. Right? So there are differences in the robots. And then this one right here has the backpack on. I'm not sure when you put it through. Like, see how this one's aluminum 2, wire 2, aluminum 2, wire 2, broken glass. So 2 tech scraps, 2. They look identical. Okay, so I stand corrected. Maybe it's different when it spits out of the machine. We'll see. So this is my build. Oh, I have one more battery right there, by the way. So I do have 3 batteries. And then I just ran one line across the roof right here to the back. You can't close the door, right? But that's okay. I could take that down because it's plugged in over here. I could take this down. I could equalize back over to the sides over here. Then I would just have a cable running out over here. All right. I don't use the pump. I did repair it, but I don't use it. Look at all them guys, them vampires jumping in the water. I don't use the pump. All right, I just don't. So right now, for me, there's no current need for me to have the water on the boat because I'm not using the processor on the boat, but I know people that do. I've seen their videos. I've talked to a few people that have it. And so, I wanted to show you. This is that line that comes down. I don't remember if I showed you earlier, but this is the build. This is what I'm using on my boat. It works perfectly for me. This is what I use in the Lazarus complex. Again, works perfectly for me. I want to end this video by saying thank you to everybody that's been watching my videos. Thank you to everybody that, gave me positive, constructive criticism on the what I was doing wrong in my previous videos. So thank you guys. I do appreciate it. And thank you so much for hitting like and subscribe. I'm not a full-time content creator. I do work a full-time job Monday to Friday. Sometimes that job requires me to travel. And so I play this game as much as possible. I think I have 153 hours into the game right now. And some people will be amazed at that. Some people will be like, that's all. The game is addicting to me, my personality type. And what I like to play, it's just highly addicting. And I've really, really enjoyed this game a lot. So, guys, if you like it, hit like, subscribe. Give me your comments on what you're doing, how you're building, the different setups that you've got going on. And until the next time, I will see you on the flip side. Bye-bye.